What is up, everybody? This is Nathan Man here, and today I come to you with a different kind of video. It's a story video, surprisingly. Yeah, you ain't seen too many of those off my channel. I mean, you have, but you haven't. Um, so today I'm gonna regale you in a tale. So if you know me personally or know me just a little bit, you might know that I go backpacking and hiking and that kind of thing. I do that because, well, I'm a scout, and that's what we scouts do. We do hiking and backpacking, and, yeah, it's hard. So today I thought I would regale you my first time ever going backpacking. First time ever going out into the woods just to see how I would do. And, yeah, it didn't go too well, so let's just hop straight into this. Now, I should probably tell you about some information about me at that time. I think this was about 11, no, not, this was like 2 or 3 years ago. It's not 11 years ago. So 2 or 3 years ago, I'm told, like, hey, do you want to go into, like, the hoods, and sleep there? I'm like, well, I've done that many times. Is it like camping? They're like, no. It's backpacking. I'm like, what's that? They're like, it's camping and hiking combined. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound too bad, you know? Because, like, I'm okay with hiking. At least I kind of was at the time. And I love camping. It's, like, my favorite part of anything. So I'm like, sweet, sign me up. I'm sure that it wasn't that easy, but, you know, you get the idea. So I signed up to go on this trip. This is the first time I went, like, more than a few miles in a day. So I was obviously a bit nervous, so my buddy, we'll just call him King for this story. He's like, oh yeah, this is awful. I hate backpacking. I'm like, well, come on, man. You gotta be a bit more positive than that. He's like, no, trust me, it's gonna go bad. And I didn't want to believe him, mostly because, well, if I believed him, I don't know, I wouldn't enjoy it. I wanted to kind of enjoy it, and also at the same time I kind of didn't. So it was kind of bizarre. So we arrive at the place. It's in the middle of nowhere. At least there's like, we have the one road, and there's nothing for like another half hour at least before we even see like another building. So I was like, what happens if I break like my skull or something? And you have to get out, and they're like rescue helicopters. And this was the first time I thought, oh wait, rescue helicopters get used on humans, or at least on regular people. And turns out, yeah. They do. It's not just for like government officials. That was a awakening for me. But either way, so we arrived there and we found our trail, at least we thought we did, and we start like walking around, you know, following the trail until the trail just disappears. Right? So the trail just disappears from everything in existence, and we're like, well, that's not supposed to happen. You see, when you're backpacking or hiking, really, most trails have like paints on the trees to symbolize that. We could not find it. We just couldn't. They were nowhere to be found, which was a problem because we didn't want to get lost in the middle of the woods. Because again, you ain't getting no help out there. So we're like, okay. So we start like hunting around for it, pretty much. We eventually do find it. It was like over across the river when there was no indication of a river crossing at all. And so we eventually find it, right? And after we found it, we were kind of like, okay. And after that was my first taste of big uphill. And let me tell you, if you ever want to go hiking, just know the uphill will forever haunt your dreams. Literally, I had nightmares about it like a few days after of me just walking up hills. It was like pretty steep too. It was like a 50-degree incline. Like this was some roller coaster looking stuff. That's what I thought. I was like, yo, what is this roller coaster? And then we realized we haven't seen the trail marker for a while. Obviously, this wasn't a very well maintained trail. Yeah, right? And we were like, well, that's kind of strange. But again, we are in the middle of nowhere, so makes some sense. At least that's what was going through my mind. I don't know what was going through any of the people with me's mind. But either way. So we do eventually find it again. And then it just ended the trail. Right? Like, end of the line. We're back to square one. Literally from where we started. And we're like, well, that doesn't do us much good. Now, does it? And, well, it doesn't. So we had to just be like, did we go on the wrong trail? It turns out we went on a hunting trail by complete accident. And we were like, well, it's 3 o'clock, and well, what are we supposed to do in this situation? It's 3 o'clock. At least I'm tired. Like, everyone else was with me were like all teenagers, as I had weak, puny legs, at this point in time. I'm just like, well, should we just camp next to the cars and break? And they're like, no, that's not how you backpack. I learned this the hard way many times later. So we go on the trail we were actually supposed to go on, which was literally right across. It was pretty vague because remember, middle of nowhere, maps were not that great. So there was a trail on the right and a trail on the left. We were on the right when we were supposed to go on the left, right? So, and we were like, well, shoot. So we walk about a mile, I want to say, about a mile down the actual trail we're supposed to be on. We found this great camping spot. It was right next to the water. You know, we were hugging along the river on this trail, not on the other one, but you know, hunting trail and all. So, and eventually, and then I had to set up a hammock. I had never set up a hammock before in my entire life. I'm still not great at it today, but back then, I could barely set up a tent. It was that bad. So, I kind of had to just figure it out because everyone else was busy setting up their hammocks, and like 2 kids brought it to them, just like, what are you doing? I remember this one kid, he had like just a backpack with a garbage bag over it, and I'm like, bro, are you going to starve? He's like, nah, I got a food, a hammock, water, that's about it. And I was like, honestly, not a bad idea. Like, you didn't have any, like, a lot of the essentials, but you know, it's fine, you know? Oh, it's fine. He did the best out of all of us, because, well, he had to carry practically nothing on his back. So I eventually get this hammock set up, and like everyone's telling me, bro, that's not how you're supposed to do it. I'm like, it's up and I can lay in it. My body was probably not even a foot away from the ground, but I was like, you know what? I don't really care. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna sleep in it, so after a bit of whittling and whatnot, because you know what else are you gonna do on the trail? We eventually we all get tired. We make dinner. We go to bed, right? Another thing I'd like to mention here, backpacking food isn't great. Like, it's not awful, but I have learned the superior brands to others. If you want me to make like a video on how to backpack, I'll gladly do that. But either way, hey, so the food was not that great, but it wasn't awful either. This is one of the bad brands, as I learned later. So we all eat. I go to bed. Like I swear my back touched the ground a few times, but you know it's fine. It's fine. It's nothing to worry about. So, I get to sleep, and right before I start going to sleep, I start hearing shh, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. You see, I had my rainfly on my hammock because, well, yeah, but I had all my like stuff and boots underneath that rainfly, and I hadn't set up the rainfly properly either. So my stuff got wet, and my boots got soaked. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm barely dry. The second I step out, I am just doused with water. It wasn't heavy rain, but it certainly wasn't like a misting either. So, well, like, I'm just like, what do I do? My boots are wet, my stuff is all wet and heavy. And this is when I start getting jerry-minded, you know? So I'm like, what could I possibly do in this situation that can make this any better? So, and I remember, I bought a huge, like, industrial black trash bag. You know the kinds that have, like, huge, that you still have leaves in. I bought one of those, and I was like, can I use this to put my stuff in? So, I shove my backpack and all the loose articles into this trash bag. I don't think I even ate breakfast. I just start going once everyone's, like, almost done. And they're like, wait, I'm like, I'm not going very fast. And I'm just moving at like a snail's pace. I have to go up this hill that we came down the other day. And I was just like, please, no, don't do this. I'm just like begging for mercy, just like, please don't make me do this. I'm not sure what my goal was there. But I look like freaking Santa Claus because it's slumped over my shoulder. I'm just, oh god, this is so stupid. So I have it slumped over like Santa Claus, right? and it's raining. The entire trail was just like a mud bowl, like straight mud. Every step you took, your boots sank like halfway. My boots were already wet, so I didn't really care. But either way, it was not a pleasant time. So after we finally make it back to the car, like I was like, I'm just gonna keep it in the trash bag for the ride home because I don't want to get this car all wet. So I get home, and that's the end of that. I don't go backpacking for another year after this. It's mostly because, well, I avoided it like the plague until, some other backpacking trips happen. But oh well. Oh, it was an amusing time. It taught me a lot about, how to fit a backpack and whatnot. I'll gladly do more of these backpacking videos. I have like a ton. I spent my entire summer doing it. So if you want to hear more, definitely comment, like, subscribe. Sorry I have to plug my stuff. Go join my Discord channel. It's a fun time over there most of the time. And yeah, I think I'll see you all later. Bye.